Hello everyone, welcome back. In this session, we will talk about all DDL statements practically, like creating a new table, altering the table, renaming a table, truncating the data from a table, and dropping a table from a database. So we'll start with creating a table and then we'll discuss about all the other commands one by one. So let me create a table first. So the syntax for creating a table is create table and then table name and the columns that you want to maintain inside that table. So table, employee details. So this is my table name and I want to include the columns like employee number, which is a number data type. The reason I am using number data type here is I want to maintain a whole number. That means without any decimals in this column. That's the reason I am using a number without giving a precision and scale to it. And then I want to have employee name. So I'm using varchar2 data type here because the ename can be a variable length sized strings, right? So you can have different length of enames in a table, and using varchar2 we can achieve that. So that's the reason I'm using varchar2 here. And then my next column is going to be gender. So gender values always same, like either it could be male or female. So when we have a fixed size string, we can go with char instead of varchar2. So I'm going to give char of 1 because m is only having one digit, even f also one digit. So using char of 1, we can capture like the gender of the employee. And next, we can include hire date. Hire date means the employee hiring date. So this column data type is going to be date. So I just want to capture the date, not along with its timestamp. So whenever we want to store or maintain dates for any column in a table, we can go with date data type. And for coming, like the next one, I would say last update details. Let's say I want to capture the date and timestamp of this employee whenever it's got updated. So who updated, at what time it's got updated. So I want to know the details precisely. So that's the reason here I want to use the data type timestamp so that I come to know the date and also the time, right? And then we can have a photo, employee photo. Before photo, let's add employee address, which is clock. So employee address can be a long text. So whenever we want to store a long text in a column, we can go with the clog data type, which is one of the binary data types. And then I want to have employee photo in this table, so which is blob. So using blob data type, we can store a photo or an image or a video file or any large text of data. So that's the reason I'm using blob to store employee photo here. And then I want to have EMP credentials. I would say login credentials. So this is a very sensitive data, so you cannot share with anybody, even if anybody is having the access to query these tables. That person cannot be able to read your employee details like your username and your password. So at that point of time, we must use raw data type here so that even though anybody has access to this table, he still can't read your username and password. So that is how we can store data. That means you can store the data in encryption format. So I'm giving raw of 20. Yeah, I think we are good. So we have covered all the data types and all required columns to maintain employee details of an organization. Okay, so let me create a table. So before executing this command, so this is, create table is a syntax. So this is like create and table. These two words are Oracle reserved words or special words. So whenever you want to create any SQL or PL/SQL object, you should be using this create key. And if you are creating a syntax, so here instead of table you are going to use syntax. If you are creating a procedure, instead of table, here it's going to be a procedure, like that. And employee details, it's a name. We always give a name, so unique name we should maintain for each and every object. And also every time a developer can decide what name we can give it to an object. So that's the reason it's not highlighted in blue color. And also employee names, like column names. So all column names are also in a normal color, like black color, because these are also decided by a developer. So whoever is creating this table, he can decide what name we can include, what naming convention we can follow to manage the details in a table. But if you see the data type, which is Oracle reserved or predefined data types, are showing in blue color again. So because it's a reserved words, that's the main reason. And let me create a table. Okay, table has created successfully. And if you want to know like what columns and what is the table structure from database, you can simply use DSC command and then table name. So you can copy the table name, paste it here, run this. So as you can see here, so you have the name of the column and its data type. So whatever the columns we added to our table, so are showing here. Okay, this is how we can see the table structure. But if you want to see the data stored in this table, so we need to use select statement that we will be discussing in our further classes in upcoming classes. But to just see the table structure, DESC is the command. And now we are done with the create command. And then let's use alter command to add new columns to the table and to modify the data type and data type size and to rename the column name and then to drop a column name from a table. So we can use these four commands to work with the columns in a table. So now first I want to add two more columns to this table by using add command in alter statement. So for that, alter table and then table name. So here you have to give add. So what action you are performing using alter, you should clearly mention here. So based on this add, modify, rename, drop, the system understands what you are exactly doing here. So add. If you want to use or add only one column, so you no need to maintain brackets. You can simply say EMP designation, and then so the data type you can give as varchar true of 40 like this. If you are not going to add more than one column, let's say you want to add more than one column at a time, so you should use brackets, open bracket and comma. So along with EMP designation, we can say EMP company location. So these two columns I want to add. Done. So table employee details is altered. So that means if you run this command again, you can be able to see these two columns, in your table structure. So EMP designation and EMP company location. So these two columns are added. And now let's modify, these data types. Let's say here there is no salary column. So first let me add the salary column to this table, salary number. Okay, done. So now I want to modify salary column data type. So now it's only a number, but salary, right? Salary is a decimal number. It's not a whole number. So you can receive the salary in decimal values like 50,000 and then 50 paise or 100 paisa like that. So I want to maintain two decimals along with a number. So what I will do, I will use uh, modify command with order to change this number data type to number of precision comma scale. So data type is same, but the syntax is different here. So number to number of p comma s, precision comma scale. So now alter table and then table name. Here you can give modify. That means you are going to correct something within a table, right? For any column. So modify. So you can give sal number of 10 comma 2. This means you want to store 10 numbers in which 2 should be decimals like that. So let me execute it. Okay, it's done. It's ordered. Now let me run this command again. So now, as you can see, it's only number. If you do describe one more time, so the data type got changed. So the data type no, from number to number of 10 comma 2. So that is how you can modify a data type. You can also change the data type completely. Let's say from number to character, character to date, date to character. So any way you can modify the data types for any column in a table. And now let's rename the column name, any of the column name. Let's say here okay, so EMP designation is there. So instead of EMP designation, I want to change this column to job, just a job. So let me do it. Alter table, table name, rename column. So copy this column name. So from this name to, I want to keep it as job. That's it. So let me run it. Okay, table got ordered. Now let me check whether this column EMP designation got modified to job or not. So as you can see, it's modified, it's changed like from EMP designation to job. So this is how you can rename a column in a table. And let's drop a column. Let's drop a column from a table. So how we do that, let's see. So alter table, table name, drop column. So I want to drop, okay, let's delete EMP company location column. Okay. So drop column and then column name. So now let me run this. Okay, table got altered. So now if you run this command, you will not be able to see EMP company name because we have just dropped it from the table. So as you can see, it's not there. So this is how you can drop a column in a table. So as of now, we discussed about alter command. Using alter, we can be able to do 4 different actions that are adding a column, modifying a column data type, and renaming a column name, and then dropping a column from a table. So these 4 different actions we have performed using alter statement. Now let's go with the renaming a table name. So now the table name is employee details. So I want to change this name from employee details to EMP details. So let's do it using rename statement. So rename, just copy paste the table name to EMP details. Let's run it. Okay, table renamed. So now if you run this command, so we are getting error. So object employee details does not exist because we just renamed this table name to EMP details. So if you check with this name, right, you can see the structure, table structure, right? So now the table name got changed as expected. So this is how we can change the name of a table. Usually in any real-time based projects, we don't change a table names oftenly because at the time of creation itself, we decide what naming convention we should follow, what name we have to keep for a SQL object. So it's very rare to modify or change a table name. Okay, so, but this is how, like using this syntax, we can rename our table name. Okay. And coming to the next one, truncate. So before we go with truncate and drop, right? So let's discuss about few points. So truncate and drop both like are DDL statements, but using a truncate, you can only delete a data of a table. But using a drop, you can delete both table structure and table data. As of now, we don't have any data in our table, so we cannot uh, understand this command truncate fully. Anyway, like I will show you the syntax, like how you have to write it to truncate the data, truncate or delete the data from a table. But we can use drop to drop this table. Okay, so let's use truncate first. Truncate table and then table name. So if you are giving like this, that means you are going to delete all the data. There is no, like, you don't have a where clause in this syntax. That means you are going to delete entire data of a table at once. Doesn't matter millions or billions of data in a table, but it deletes entire data, like it throws all the data into a bin. So table employee details truncated. So let's say if we had data in this table before executing this command, so by this time the data would have been deleted. So we will check this command in our upcoming classes when we have data in a table. That's fine. So now let's talk about drop command, drop statement. So drop we can use to delete both a table structure and table table data, right? So let's say before that, if you query the table EMP details, you can see the table structure. Like, so you can see, all the columns have been added to this table, but there is no data. But fine, you using drop command, you can, you can simply delete all the data along with its structure. So this is the syntax of dropping a table. So I'm going to execute this. So table EMP details dropped. That means, so the data, the table got deleted from the database. So if you run this select statement again, table or view does not exist. So that means the table has successfully deleted or removed from our database. So to recap all the things that we have discussed in this session, so we discussed about DDL statements, like we created a new table. We used alter table to add a new column and modify the column data type and renaming column name and dropping a column from a table. And use rename we used rename to rename the table name also. And then we used truncate to delete the data of a table. And we used drop to delete the table from our database. So this is all I have for today. If you have any questions or any confusion on any one of these commands, you can email me or write a comment in this below of this video. Thank you.